Before we get into the build, I would just like to inform you that the gun and blade perk from the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger doesn't work smoothly right now for Mesa Prime. In case you don't know, this perk is used to get initial combo count, and you can add the Ready Steel along with all these initial combo mods to get 12 times combo multiplier. Then the maximum combo count will be used to proc the maximum buff of Secondary Outburst that grants a 240% critical chance bonus to your Peacemaker. With the critical delay build, you can achieve orange crit numbers with your Peacemaker, and if you have Tau Forged version of Topaz Archon Shards, that also grants an increase in the critical chance stat, then you can reach red crit numbers with your Peacemaker. Right now, the gun and blade perk is not as effective as before because your Peacemaker doesn't count as kills to proc the buff from the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger perk. In the past, you could easily get 100 kills resulting in 100 initial combo count just using your regulator pistols. Now, you would need to use your primary weapon and get 100 kills to activate the gun and blade perk for your Peacemaker. It's really not a big issue as you can still have the red crit numbers, but this will allow you to increase the requirement of getting red crit numbers with Mesa, as you most definitely need a good primary weapon like the Incarnator to kill enemies and get that 100 combos fast. While it's a hassle, but I strongly suggest that you try to increase the critical tier of Mesa, as right now, you can also mod for cold to increase the critical damage against enemies hit by your Peacemaker. So I still suggest the Nourish Mesa build because of the energy regeneration increase that the Subsume ability gives, and also because of the guaranteed viral element that it imbues to your regulator pistols. You can mod for one of the best triple element combos in the game, namely viral, corrosive, and cold, and these elemental combinations are what makes Mesa busted right now. Before we proceed to the regulator builds, I would like to give a couple of points on the mod choices on my Mesa Prime. First of all, I go for high duration with narrow-minded equip, as I really don't need any range, as this Mesa build is purely focused on getting the best kill speed from my regulator pistols. The only downside of having low range in this Peacemaker build is that you get lower field of view with your fourth ability, but honestly that won't matter at all, as you'll be pointing and killing with your Peacemaker even with the 8 degrees point of view on this build. Now there's the option to increase the power strength of this build by simply replacing Prime Continuity with Blind Rage, and this will increase your viral damage and energy regeneration buff from your Nourish ability. This will also increase the damage of your Peacemaker and as well as the damage buff you get from Shooting Gallery. Just be warned though that the build will not be good because of problems in energy economy without the Arcane Energize mod. If you want to add Blind Rage in the build, then you better have this Arcane on this slot. And also, Arcane Velocity is another best in slot Arcane, as the faster you increase your fire rate, the faster you achieve the full max power of your Peacemaker. Finally, I prefer to use the Preparation mod in the Exilus mod slot over the Mesa's Waltz augment that allows you to move at 50% speed while using your Peacemaker. I have tried the Mesa's Waltz augment for months, but I don't like the gameplay wherein I get stuck in a slow animation for a couple seconds. There's always the option to deactivate the ability, but I really think that Mesa's Waltz is pointless, especially if you like the gameplay of jumping and killing enemies with your Peacemaker. It's so much better to deactivate the ability and relocate than go into aimbot mode again. That is why, instead of using the augment, I prefer adding Preparation that gives me full energy always at the start of a mission. This will allow me to start killing enemies at the very beginning, and the fact is, I really don't have any issue with energy while turning on and off my Peacemaker with my build. For the Regulator Prime build, go for Corrosive and Cold, paired with the Galvanized status mods and critical mods you see on your screen. The reason I go with dual status chance mods is because I want to pair it with the high fire rate of Mesa to proc you Corrosive, Viral, and Cold against an enemy. This does not just increase the damage with Galvanized Shot, but adding a stack of Corrosive will strip the armor of enemies, increasing your damage. It will also increase the damage you deal on their health with Viral, and then Cold will be like a double-edged sword that slows an enemy with the Cold stack, and it will add a critical damage bonus per stack of Cold on a target. With Arcane Velocity in my Mesa Prime, I can negate the negative fire rate of critical delay and have at least a 100% increase in fire rate, perfect to achieve the maximum damage fire rate and power of my Peacemaker. What I'm missing in the build is 3 Tau Forged Topaz Archon Shards and then 2 Emerald Archon Shards for a full armor strip. The Emerald Archon Shard is just optional though, as you can't achieve full armor strip while just using Peacemaker all the time. The reality is, even though you build for high status chance and fire rate, enemies will get killed before you even build the full stack of either Cold, Corrosive, or Viral to the target. So you have the option to put a full Topaz Archon Shard in the build, or you can also give it the Red Tau Forged Archon Shard that also grants critical chance increase to your Peacemaker. This way, you won't be killing enemies to build up your red crit damage, but remember that Topaz Archon Shard does provide better critical chance than the red versions, so I strongly suggest not to go full blast with red shards. So I guess I have included even the smallest details on my updated Mesa build after Jade Shadows. If you have any questions, then feel free to write it down in the comments section below. Take note that Mesa Prime is not the only warframe that got a lot better after the Jade Shadows update, and I'll be updating other warframe builds next. Go check them out later, and I hope that they will be helpful for you in some way. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader, signing off.